to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best.
Right, our mission is to brighten your weekend, so stay right where you are whilst we entertain you for the next hour with some delicious guests and wonderful grub.
Now, can you believe it's been 30 years since he first closed his eyes and drew back the curtain? Now, I can tell you for certain that he's back on stage in Joseph once again. It's Jason Donovan.
Yes.
Hey.
Now, Dad, please just please don't ask Jason for an acting gig.
No, you don't get it. He's here now. I might as well do it.
We've been through this. You can't
just
harass
go.
the guests.
Just
All right,
go.
sorry. And by Jason's side is the superhuman, superhero, super vet. It's Noel Fitzpatrick, everyone.
And it wouldn't be Saturday without heading into the kitchen and cooking up a fabulous feast with our resident chef, Shivi Ramoutar.
Yes.
Morning, Shiv. What are we cooking today?
So we're going all out for 4th of July, a bit of an American influence with our easy, cheesy mac and cheese.
So it's going to be nice and easy for Ro then.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right, let's kickstart the show with a music question, OK? Now, which song was #1 on this day in 1991? OK, let's have a think back. I wasn't born. Noel?
1991. My favourite band of all time, U2, with One.
With one, so you're going...
Octung Baby, One.
Dad, what about you? What would
I'm going to go Jason's mate, Kylie. I'm going to go... That's her.
OK, yeah. Oh, Jason, what about you? What do you reckon?
I think it was me.
Really? It was you?
Yeah.
What song would it have been?
Any dream will do.
Let's take a listen.
I close
And do you know what?
I've done my research.
Yeah, this...
Well, I mean, you know, it is... well, we live in the Instagram world, and we live in this where nostalgia is massive at the moment. And, you know, for years you just go up to your loft and you'd have to look through stuff and you'd have to reference. And, you know, now, you're on your phone, people tell you, you know, when you have these moments and these anniversaries. And I know... that today, Any Dream Will Do was #1 up 30 years ago, 1991.
Well, it is actually, it's a bit of an honour, this, to be honest, because this is the first time we've had the person who was #1 sat in the studio when we played this game.
I love that.
Right, look, Jason's version of Any Dream Will Do was #1 for 2 weeks and comes from the infamous stage show Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now, a little fact, it was the very first musical that Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice created together whilst they were still at school, which is pretty amazing. Now, talking of school productions, do any of you have any memorable school productions? Do you remember doing any plays at school, Noel?
Not so much in a play, but I was great at building clothes peg rocking chairs. You know when you're in school and they get you to make
I know that
craft
one.
thing?
I remember those.
I was great at that. Varnished it and everything. Yeah, so clothes peg chairs. Boom.
Maybe behind the scenes.
That's my first surgical experience.
Amazing.
You were could have been a stage hand making.
I could have made the design thing.
Made the design, exactly. Well, Jason, what about you? Any plays at school?
I can't remember the name of the play, but I played I think it was Judas in a play at school, and I think I sort of smashed it, actually.
I was going to say, Jesus,
I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to sound like I was, it was just it was a sort of a life-changing moment for me.
Yeah.
So I went...
Yeah. How old would you have been?
In my teens. But I used to, always do the school play because I went to an all-boys school and we were able to mix with girls, you see, at that point, because of the play. And, and, most in Australia, everyone's into their sport, where I was into, listening to music and, becoming an actor. So I was always the one off-piste, but hopefully that's... swung around in my favour a little bit.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Now, it's been 17 years since the super vet first burst onto our screens, pushing the boundaries of veterinary surgery. And through him, we have witnessed some of the most incredible animal stories, which he's put into his new book, How Animals Saved My Life. Now, Noel, I have read this a while back. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Really is. Loved every page of it. But for those people who haven't read it, just explain how animals did save your life.
The book is about how I've got more from animals than I've ever given to them, from an emotional, psychological point of view, and also from a fulfillment point of view. Jason and I were just talking before the programme about what is the meaning of life, what is fulfillment, and I was asking Jason, what does he think fulfillment is? And I think it's peace of the soul. And the book has two key themes, integrity and care. And I think they're two themes that should be universal in the world. And at a time where we're in coronavirus and still battling with it, there's never been a better time to look at if we support animals and help them, they help us. And look at what they've done for us in lockdown. And How Animals Saved My Life is that journey through all of the animals that I've helped and have helped me.
Yeah, like I said, it's absolutely wonderful, the book. It's a great read, really is. The final chapter of the book, though, is really personal, isn't it? And you almost didn't finish it.
Oh, yes. Actually, I'll tell you a funny bit and a sad bit about that. Yeah. The funny bit is that this dude over here brought his book out, had the nerve to bring his book out with his beautiful wife the same week as I launched mine the first time round, right? Not only that, I get an email.
Two different topics.
Oh, I know. One is about endless love and the other one's about endless love. So you're right. Completely different. How my wife saved my life, how animals saved my life. Completely different.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has nerve to send me a message. Will you write the foreword? Yeah, sure I will, mate. For a book coming out the same week as mine.
So Noel got 2 number 1s.
Yes, in the same week I got 2 number 1s. His book and mine. No, the answer to your question is yes. The book almost didn't get done because my little dog Kira sadly was hit by a car, and it was most certainly among the worst experiences, well, possibly the worst experience of my life. She is the love of my life. I've had her 13 years. And she got hit by a car in front of me, 2 feet away from me. Yeah. And I was due to deliver the book, and I was in intensive care with her. So the last chapter was written by her kennel. And the publisher was going mental. You know, your public, because during COVID they had to book the printing time.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was all tied up. So if you don't launch that day, you're not going to launch. And I said, Kira, do you want me to finish this? And I know this is difficult to believe, but she just whimpered, and I took that as a yes. Yeah. And so we fixed her, and although the book ends on a note of will we or won't we, you'll be happy to hear that she's alive and happy and well.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Right. But the accident featured on Supervet, didn't it, on one of the episodes?
I think I saw it, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I saw the episode.
Yeah, it was hard, but the producers asked me, would I be the family, as it were, and I'd clearly never been the family. And being the family and the clinician was super hard, but I figured, look, if I ask people, will you be gracious enough to allow us to follow your journey to help other people to cope, why would I not, you know, lead by example? But my goodness, it was difficult because and I'm so grateful to all the people, you know, we're in series 16 or 17 now, and I'm so grateful to the hundreds of people who've allowed us to follow their journeys. But when the love of your life is on the line, I think it comes back to what you and I were talking about. That in that moment is the meaning of life. In that beautiful moment of oneness with that animal is the meaning of life.
We watched that one on Gogglebox, and he was crying.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. We were watching it on Gogglebox.
Well, you know what I found so emotional was that you know how much love and how much care Noel puts into other animals. And it being his own animal, I just felt your pain.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely felt it.
Definitely. But that's why, you know, we're talking about the Super Vet series still going strong on Channel 4 after 16 series, as you mentioned there. But why all those years ago did you decide to go, do you know what? I want full camera crew in my vet.
I didn't actually decide that I want a full camera. That's not the way it goes down. How it goes down is you think I'm not making enough of a difference. And truly, this book, How Animals Saved My Life, is like you writing songs, and hopefully somebody will listen to them and it'll mean something to them. That's, I guess, as a creative artist, that's what you do. For me, I was very frustrated that animals were not getting a fair deal. They weren't getting the options. And I just felt, that's not fair. Because animals give us so much, why are we not giving them the solutions? And I publish a lot of scientific papers, and I will bet, Roman, I'm just hazarding a guess here, but I will bet you haven't read a single one of my scientific papers.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah!
I haven't.
Yeah, yes. On his morning radio show, oh yes, distraction osteogenesis in ferrets. I know that one.
All that money I paid for his schooling.
Yeah, I know, complete waste. Anyway, the point was, I wasn't changing things at the rate that I wanted to. to. So the only way to change things is to build a platform.
Yeah.
And you think that this is, 16 series in and you deserve a slap in the back? No way. I've only just begun.
Yeah.
Because the journey ahead is immense.
Then, Noel, you know that you will always have a really special place in my family's hearts. You know that.
Thank you.
For what you did for us.
Well, thank
and our first-hand experience of just how amazing you are. But I have got a special guest.
You
stay
do?
there.
A special guest?
Come on, big boy.
Oh my goodness!
Go again.
Here's my Aussie.
Hi, Oz. Hi, Oz.
Here he is.
Hi, Poopy.
Here he is.
So,
Now, Jason, you might not
Yeah.
know this, but Oscar was born with a really bad arm, deformed arm.
okay.
And Noel fixed it and made it, put all metal plates into it.
but yeah, he's much better now. Very happy.
He's not that
quite
keen on
quite
Noel, though, at the
starstruck by
moment.
Jason
Oh
Donovan.
my goodness, yeah. He's like, were you on Neighbours?
Yeah.
So what did you do to his arm? What did you do?
So he had,
Yeah,
as
shall I
you,
take him?
he had, as you well know,
Come here, big boy.
a defect non-union of his proximal ulna.
Yeah.
Yes. He had a hole in his bone. And this bone in the forearm wasn't joined with the rest of the forearm.
Yeah.
And therefore he couldn't move his elbow. And I believe he had a trauma before.
Yeah.
That's right,
And
yes.
what was the history? Remind me.
Yeah.
To be honest, he was a rescue dog, and something must have happened. But
Your wife would like to rescue all the dogs in the world.
yeah.
And
All of them.
given a choice, she would replace every human, including both of these,
Yep.
Yeah.
with ducks, chickens, goats, horses, the full 9 yards.
You know her too well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we made a custom 3D plate for him, and he
Jason?
put his bones back together again, and he seems to be walking fine.
We will always be grateful because we know that you've added years onto his life.
Oh, thank you.
So, Noel, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Real pleasure, it really is. And your book, which is absolutely brilliant, How Animals Saved My Life, is out now.
Yes.
So go and
Might
get it.
save your life too.
Yeah.
Time for a quick break, but when we come back, we're moving in with everyone's favourite neighbour, Jason Donovan.
And Shivi's in the kitchen, rustling up a easy cheesy mac and cheesy. Sounds incredible. See you in a bit. Welcome back to Iron Romans Weekend Best. Jason Donovan and Noel Fitzpatrick are with us.
And shortly we'll be heading into the kitchen for a lesson with Chef Shivi. But first, we want our guests to confess to their deepest, darkest secrets in our free Saturday therapy session, Get It Off Your Chest. Now, we like to think of the Weekend Best studio, a little bit of a safe haven for our guests, a palace of tranquility, if you were, and somewhere to share an embarrassing moment from their past in order to cleanse their soul of shame.
Now, after they've poured their heart out, they can get it off their chest by throwing it into our Weekend Best chest, never to be mentioned again, and that's a promise.
Yes, now, Noel, you are first up. Please tell us about this.
Here we go.
Why do we have a cow?
Oh dear, Jason. You will not have had an experience like this on Neighbours.
Well, I mean,
All right, I'll make it short and I'll make it simple. A little bit unusual for a weekend early morning.
Okay.
But when a cow has a calf, sometimes they force so hard the uterus comes out. Sorry, it happens.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
Then you got to put it back in.
Right,
But sometimes they're still forcing. So you need to stitch it back in.
right.
But not just with ordinary sutures. No, no, no. You need something to absorb the stress of the sutures. So here I was on a farm, approximately the same time as you had a #1 hit. I was on a farm, covered in poo, having pushed a uterus in to a cow. Our different lives, Jason.
Sure.
And I had to keep it there, so I asked the lady of the house, did she have any buttons I could use? And the
Buttons?
buttons to absorb the stress from the stitches, because the stitches would bite
Right,
through
right.
the flesh
Yeah.
when the cow is forcing. So she said, as a matter of fact, I think I do. And she snipped the buttons one by one off the coat of her husband, who was the farmer. I took said 8 buttons, stitched everything back in, hunky-dory, you might think.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
What I want to get off my chest is that when I came back 10 days later to take said buttons out, she saw me stitching 8 in, I only gave 6 back. Because I wanted to keep it as a memento of troubled times.
Do you still have the 2 buttons?
I do. 2 big black buttons for stitching in uteruses.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. So
wow,
the cow needs to go in the chest.
Yeah, here he goes.
Do you not worry that maybe she doesn't think that you've got them and that they're just still in her cow?
I don't know what she thinks, but her husband is lacking 2 buttons on the midriff region.
Well, there they go. In goes the cow.
Off my chest.
Hey, there he is.
Perfect.
Jason.
Yes.
Tell us what these are about.
When I was doing a show in the West End, Priscilla actually, I had to go on stage each night and undress, but you know, I was never completely undressed. So I used to wear like a skin-coloured sort of pair of underpants.
Yeah.
And of course the character I played was a drag queen. You
Yeah.
know. But I'd start the production as, you know, a normal sort of Aussie character.
Yeah.
But what I'd have to do was put a pair of skin-coloured underwear on, and then I'd put stockings on, and then I'd put my normal underwear over the stockings. And in this scene, I'd sort of take my clothes off, you know. Well, one Saturday, you know, evening, in the hurry that I normally was, having done 8 shows a week to get out of the building, I just sort of forgot to put the black pair of underwear above my skin-coloured underwear. So when I took my clothes off, the front row and beyond, all they could see was this sort of androgynous type of figure with no genital
Reach, you look like a Ken doll.
Yeah,
you look like a Ken doll.
I look like a Ken doll. So, I mean, again, you know, not quite as... Well, I wouldn't say your story was sexy. Mine was probably a little more colourful and theatrical.
Yeah.
But,
All right, well, listen, the pants, they get in.
Yeah.
In they go. Thank you very much.
we go.
Get
Absolutely.
ready. Perfect. Right, it is time to turn our focus to a true TV icon. He has starred in an iconic soap. Of course, he has also created iconic songs. And performed the iconic role of Joseph in the West End.
I close my eyes.
So happy to have him here with us once again. Jason Donovan joins us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Jason, look, I mean, returning to Joseph, but this time as Pharaoh. I mean, performing this must be incredible. You're going back to the Palladium as well. First time since 1991, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's 30 years this, well, this month, or last month, rather. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a funny thing to go back to a show that was a piece of magic for me back in 1991. Initially, there was talk about me doing Joseph, but I figured that I wanted to, you know, enjoy the experience. It's quite, as Martin would know, doing 8 shows a week is a very sort of punishing schedule.
Yeah.
And, you know, to have this role as the Pharaoh, which is a sort of progressive role from Joseph, you know, seemed like the perfect, you know, opportunity for this reinvention of, you know, Joseph 2019. We did it 2 years ago, and we're coming back this summer. So yeah, so it's exciting.
It seems like people are going to have so much fun watching this one. I mean, it's slightly different. It's reimagined from the original. I mean, what can people expect that are going to go and see it?
I mean, look, I think after the year that we've had, Joseph is the perfect sort of antidote to, you know, what we've been through. And I think musicals are escapist in a way, and Joseph is a story about adversity and coming through that. It's very colourful. It's up. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into the theatre. The theatre's had a tough, a really tough time. It's going to be exciting. So we're pumped. For summer 2021, Roman.
I can imagine, because, you know, as you said there, you know, it's an industry that has been through such a tough year. It's almost the last industry to reopen. It's one of them, at least. But this time around, you know, you're playing Pharaoh, and you've got quite a young actor. You've got Jack Yarrow playing Joseph. Yeah. Did you have any tips for him?
No, because it's a different, you know, he's a different sort of performer than I, and he's a different person than I. And, you know, he's very experienced. He's a lovely guy. And, you know, in fact, my son came and saw the opening night in 2019 and, you know, came back and said that guy singing Close Every Door was awesome. And I was a little bit like, yeah, OK, don't forget what I did back in 1990. But, you know, I mean, you know, music is magic, you know, and the Pharaoh, it's a bluesy, cool song out of Act 2. Yeah. It's 13 or 14 minutes on stage. I come on, I'm off, and I get just as much adulation as I and I don't have to go to physio on Sunday morning. Completely exhausted. Yeah. So bring it on. More parts like these, please. Less.
Absolutely. But let me tell you something. You know, you asked earlier about Jason. You know, you gave the young boy taking over from you any advice. Jason was really good to me because I took over from Jason. Playing
Million Dollar
Quartet.
Yeah.
Sam Phillips.
Yes.
That role had loads of dialogue in that, and I went and I sat with Jason and we spoke about it for ages. Remember that afternoon?
Yeah.
And Jason was so good to me.
In Malvern.
So many tips about how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll always appreciate it.
Yeah, no, so it's, look, I mean, I've been, you know, we were saying before, you know, I don't believe in luck. I think you create your own luck in life, but I do think timing is everything. And, you know, success, how do you measure success in life? And we were just talking about this before. You know, from one person, it's, you know, just getting out of bed in the morning and dealing with an illness. For some, it's, you know, making a lot of money. For some people, it's putting on a show in the West End. But you know, I'm passionate about what I do. I still find it challenging. I'm still anxious. I still get nervous. But there's something about it, man, that just keeps you the buzz. It just keeps me on my toe and keeps me alive.
But it's not all singing and dancing anymore, is it?
No.
You've finally found art.
Yeah. Well, apart from...
I'm going to tell you something. It's really
nice. I mean,
really
apart from... you know, apart from sort of gigs and I mean, I do these sort of this
I've
is my
some of your art on the internet.
Yeah,
that's lovely.
Sure, man.
Am I allowed to touch?
Yeah, you can touch. I mean, that might shine up a little bit. That's one of my recent ones, actually, for John.
So talk to me. So you've got something in the you're
something
in the middle.
Look, I have always, as a kid, you know, everyone said my writing was, you know, pretty good. You know? My intellect wasn't as great, but my motivation of doing I sort of thought, you know, particularly when you're doing shows, you've got to learn lines. So I started to use my lyrics and my, you know, to try and learn these lines, you know, into my artwork. And then, you know, a number of people said you should do something with it.
I love that one.
And I just take some images that I like. Yeah. And then I sort of do writing and I put my thoughts. And with lockdown, you know, work as, you know, in theatre and live work really dried up. So you need to find something that doesn't rely too much on other people. Yeah. And, you know, you've got to be brave enough to just put it out there and, you know, see whether people like it. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. And, you know, so far it's a little cottagey thing that I do.
Beautiful handwriting.
Yeah,
beautiful.
And I work...
Although, was this a lyric of your song? Because it says here, and then the cow's uterus... Hang on a minute!
Yeah.
Steal my eyes. I steal the bottom.
Not quite. But I...
Beautiful.
Listen, random stuff, you know, whatever comes to my mind. But yeah, listen, it's been a nice sort of little thing on the side.
Well, listen, good luck with that. And also, good luck with Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, because it's on right now till September the 5th in the London Palladium. Yeah. Don't miss it.
Yeah. After the break, we're heading to the kitchen to join our in-house chef, Shivi, who's making us some easy, cheesy mac and cheese.
See you in a few minutes.
Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best.
Oh, we've moved into the kitchen with our resident chef, the splendid Shivi Ramoutar.
Yeah. So, Shiv, I'm cooking today, and you said that we're remembering 4th of July with your easy, cheesy mac and cheese.
Exactly.
Oh, now that sounds absolutely delicious. It looks amazing as well. And, Dad, you'll be pleased to know...
What?
Someone actually sent in an apron.
Ooh.
I know. Well, this is the thing. I put the call out there because I said that it's only ever my dad's fans that send them in. So, my fans heard that call, and a fan of mine sent one in. Wait for this, OK?
Let's have a look then.
You'll like this one. It's 4th of July inspired. We are going
And...
full USA, baby.
Woohoo!
And my fan sent this in.
That's funny. You know, we've
I
got
know.
one like this at
Weird.
home.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we've got one like this in the kitchen.
No, we don't. This is one my fans sent in.
No,
You don't know them. They're a big fan of mine.
Hang on a second.
Perhaps the biggest
Here's the
fan.
one from home.
Look. Can you just shut up?
No, here's the one from home.
Dad.
Because it's got a little stain
Dad.
here. I can
Dad.
see it.
Listen.
What?
Mum sent it in.
Mum sent it in.
Thanks, Mum. Thanks. Yeah, cheers. Shivi, can we just start, please?
Yeah, mums are the best fans,
Yeah.
though, anyway. Anyway, so look at this gorgeous rainbow colours in front of us, Ro. All these beautiful, bright yellows and whites.
Very nice.
Always got to start with a mac and cheese like this. I'm going to run through the ingredients for you. I've got 350 grams of macaroni that's been cooked in boiling salted water.
Lovely.
Remember, I taught you how to do perfect pasta a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That's what we've done there. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 2 tablespoons of flour. I've got 4 large handfuls, about 350 grams of cheddar, very
Lovely.
important in the mac and cheese. And I've got 2 handfuls, about 100 grams of Parmesan cheese.
Wow.
And 500 mils of milk.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, so there's only one physical thing for us to do.
Okay.
And that is grate a clove of garlic.
Right.
So get grating your garlic. So all of our ingredients
Get grating away.
are ready to
That's all
go.
he's got to do is
Yeah.
grate a garlic.
Easy. I
all
specifically
about-
designed this for Ro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all about, you know, the love that goes into it.
What, grating the garlic?
Yeah.
Food should be made with love. Actually, Martin, he's absolutely right. So, Ro, when you've finished loving your garlic,
Yeah,
in goes butter into the high heat pan. It
Yeah.
should be a large saucepan because I'm going to throw lots of ingredients into this. So, as soon as that butter has melted, it's smelling delicious, it's frothing up.
Yeah, I can
Then
smell it.
I'm going to add,
How much
My
butter is it we're putting in?
this is 3 generous tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
We're going all out with our mac and cheese today. We're holding no bars.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to whisk this with the butter. Give it a good whisk. You want to create a lovely smooth paste, and the paste is also called a roux.
Flour goes in next.
Flour goes in, get your whisk out, and then just whisk that in. I'm going to throw in my garlic now
Okay.
into our lovely roux. Once you've got that lovely aroma coming from that pan, you smell that great garlic going in there. I am going to slowly whisk in my milk. 500 mils of whole milk, gradually whisked in.
Why do you slowly pour it in? Why can't you just pour it all at once?
You want it to incorporate. You want it time to incorporate.
So does it separate if you pour it in too quick?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's going to look a bit claggy still, but just keep whisking. It's going to get nice and thick and smooth.
Yep.
I've used whole milk because it doesn't separate as easily as semi-skim does. If you fancy a low-calorie option,
Yeah.
don't eat mac and cheese.
Well,
There's
Dad,
no
pour that in for me slowly.
low-calorie option here.
There you go.
Pour that in for me slowly.
So in that goes, and keep whisking it so that it doesn't separate. And I want this to be a lovely, thick, smooth sauce.
You know, I always find when you make a roux, it's
Yes.
quite forgiving, isn't it? You can always mend it. If it separates at first,
Just whisk it.
keep going with it.
But actually, Martin, this has now become a bechamel. Once I've added my milk, we've taken the roux to a bechamel. And you know bechamels from lasagnas.
Yeah.
lasagnas, yeah. So, you know, I'm throwing all the techniques at you today, Ro. All
Very
the
good.
techniques.
See?
So that looks lovely and smooth. How was your bechamel?
Yeah, no, it's looking very nice.
So I'm going to take 3/4 of my cheddar
Yep.
and throw that into the pan. And at this stage, let's turn off our heat. We don't want it to get any thicker. So turn your hob off and just pull the saucepan off the heat so it doesn't thicken too much. I'm also going to add half of the Parmesan, so about 50 grams of Parmesan going in. And for me, this is a really key step. It's all about balancing that mac and cheese, right? So the cheddar is quite creamy. The Parmesan adds a real nice nuttiness to it, which I think is really important, getting the balance. If you didn't want to use Parmesan, you can use Grana Padano, which is a slightly cheaper version. You can use Comté, you can use Manchego. You just want a nuttier cheese.
But the Parmesan's got a little bit of a salt thing to it as well, hasn't it?
It has.
Puts it in.
It really works so well in this mac and cheese. Now give this a good whisk, Ro. Now at this stage, you can get all fancy. You can mix and match your mac and cheese. So you can throw in a couple tablespoons of harissa paste.
Make it a bit colourful.
Yeah, or give it a different flavour. Chipotle paste.
Yeah.
I know Martin's a bit partial to truffle oil.
Oh, yeah.
A few drops of truffle oil in this would work wonders.
Yeah.
Now, let's really put some elbow grease into this roe. We don't want any lumps in this cheese sauce. I also think mac and cheeses are perfect for hiding veggies.
Oh, yes, very good.
Don't worry, I'm not going to pull out any spinach or kale from under my counter. But throw in spinach, throw in kale. You know, if it's swimming in all this cheese sauce, who is possibly going to say no?
I can't tell you how many times I made this for Ro when he was small. Honestly, he used to sit in his little high chair like this, and I'd come up to him and I'd say, Ro, what do you want? What do you want for dinner? And he'd go, macaroni cheese! Yeah. Macaroni cheese!
Oh, that's very sweet.
I didn't realise I was a parrot. No.
So if you add cauliflower, by the way, make sure it's cooked, because when we pop the mac and cheese under the grill, it's not going to have time to cook. And again, it's great for loving leftovers, things like leftover chicken, leftover sausage, crispy bacon. Meats work beautifully in this. Make sure it's cooked. It has to be cooked before it goes into the Mornay, which we've just made. So by adding our cheese roe, we have made a Mornay sauce.
Okay.
I've taken you from roux to bechamel.
I was going to say, there's like so many sauces names. How many are we making here?
This is it. But you're going to step away from today being able to make 3 classic French techniques, French sauces.
Very good.
All right. So our lovely Mornay is looking beautiful and smooth. Now I'm going to add my macaroni. So in that goes.
And you've pre-cooked this macaroni.
This is the macaroni that we cooked in boiling salted water for about 7 minutes.
Right.
Now give that a real good mix. We want that to be really well incorporated.
Now you don't want this macaroni, when you pre-cooked it, you don't want it to be too soft, do you?
No.
Because you're going to cook it a little bit more, right?
We're going to cook it a little bit more. I love a creamy mac and cheese. Some people like it a little bit less creamy, but I think it's beautiful to just sink into the creaminess. At this stage, throw in a good amount of seasoning, because there's a lot of milk and pasta have gone in here, and we really want to bring out that saltiness. So
now I have put for my mac and cheese, and I know that you like it a little bit this way as well. I put a little bit extra pepper in there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because I love pepper in it.
Yeah.
Pepper is good. I think the garlic also will add a little bit of pungency to it. So the garlic is a really key element to this delicious, divine mac and cheese. Now we're gonna serve this into a baking dish. Now you can use a Pyrex baking dish, a glass baking dish, whatever you have lying around. It has to just be oven proof, because it's going to go into the oven or under the grill.
Yeah.
I like what you're using here. This is
Enamel.
it's got a, kind of like an old-fashioned
Yeah.
look to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's very trendy as well now, isn't it? You go into a restaurant, you get these lovely enamelware.
Yeah, I like that.
Our final flourish, Ro,
Yeah.
is adding the remaining cheese to the top.
Adding the remaining cheese to the top.
The remaining cheese. You left some cheese there, yeah?
That's the best bit, is the crust
Yeah.
that we're going for on top.
Do you ever add breadcrumbs to this?
Well, I was just you hit me to the post.
Oh.
You can add breadcrumbs for additional crunch, but you know on Weekend Best I like to give simple pared back perfection.
Yes.
So you do not need to do that. If you have extra breadcrumbs lying around, by all means throw that in, but it is not an imperative step, because we're going to make sure that the grill chars and makes that cheese bubbly and blistered, so you're still going to get some crunch from it. And on with the Parmesan. Oh, my mouth is watering already.
There you go, look at this.
I will tell you, if you wanted to freeze this in portions, I wouldn't say no to doing that, because who would not love having a freezer full of little portions of mac and cheese ready to go during the week? So, do you know what I'm going to do, Ro? I'm also going to add, just because you said you liked extra pepper, I'm going to add a little
Oh, yeah?
sprinkling, a smattering of pepper on top. This is going to go under a hot grill that's been preheated for about 3 to 5 minutes until it is golden, burnished, bubbling, and you just want to dive right in.
Fantastic.
But don't do that.
Lovely.
Because you'll burn. Cheese burn is
Cheese
undeniably
burn.
the worst.
Yeah, cheese burn is the worst type of burn.
How long does it take, Shiv? I'm starving.
3 to 5 minutes, Martin. Not long, but it will feel like long while we're watching.
Okay, here we go.
So it's going under a hot grill for 3 to 5 minutes.
We need a bit of TV magic.
Yep. I mean, there you go. Thank you very much. And also, you've tied it up a little bit for me, so that was very helpful.
Brilliant, I love it. Shall I
After
check
you.
what this mac and cheese look? Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
that is perfection. Look at that.
Oh,
Some crispy
that's
golden
looking
top
great.
bits, oozy, cheesy, creamy bits. Oh, I'm salivating. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to serve up a portion here.
Wowza.
Oh, look at that. That
Roman, you have
is what it's
outdone
all about.
yourself there, boy.
Can I also tell you, you would not believe how much this costs.
How much?
A portion is just over 80p.
Oh, my God. And what, one portion of this?
Yep.
Wow, amazing.
It smells so good. That is easy cheesy, mac and cheese, perfect comfort food for sitting in front of the telly and absorbing all hosts of entertainment.
Oh, very good. There you go.
Yeah. Let's try that.
And
There's
do you know
parsley
what?
there for a bit of green.
Do you know what? I was going to say, I would even have this with a little bit of salad.
Oh, look at you!
Would you?
The one dish that I wouldn't necessarily serve with a salad,
yeah,
though.
that's it.
The one dish.
Who knows? Who knows? There you go.
2 leaves.
There we go, there's your salad.
Pre-warning, very hot.
Very hot, I know it.
Cheese burn, careful.
Blow, blow. Yeah. Right, whilst he does that, for all the details on how to make Shivi's easy cheesy mac and cheese, head over to itv.com/food. Looking forward to seeing you back here next Saturday,
Can't
Shiv.
wait.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait.
And Mum, thanks for your apron. Be great if some fans actually sent one for me. So email us your ideas at weekendbest@cactustv.co.uk.
Right, time for a break, but don't go anywhere because we're about to meet our weekend best VIP. That's a very interesting person.
Yes, plus we've got some top TV and film recommendations to throw your way soon. See you in a bit.
See you later. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best. Jason, Donovan, Noel Fitzpatrick keeping us company all morning.
Yes, indeed. I mean, just firstly, mac and cheese, what reviews?
Really good.
Are you just saying that because it's telly?
I'm not just saying that.
Okay.
This is cheese-tastic.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Jason, approve?
I love a bit of cheese.
Oh, yeah, why not? We're gonna have that, I'm going to have that written on a T-shirt.
I've been
Cheese is
cheesy all
king.
my life. The cheese starts to pay off with age.
Now, look, if you're looking for some fantastic TV or film recommendations, look no further because here is our best picks, okay.
Right. My pick of the week is the very funny Rob and Ramesh versus. Now, after taking on the likes of Usain Bolt, Anthony Joshua, and even Shania Twain, Rob Beckett and Ramesh Ranganathan are back for a third series. This time, they're doing Wimbledon and the Olympics. Here's a clip of hockey gold medalist Maddie Hinch seeing what it takes to be an England goalkeeper.
It was my final face-off with the machine from hell, and I was determined to dodge the ball at all costs.
Turn his ball, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Let's face it, using a machine to fire 70-mile-per-hour balls at a bloke with a lazy eye was never going to end well, but I didn't think it would end quite like this.
Very good. That is on Sky 1 Thursday, 9 p.m. Now, my pick this week is Black Widow. Now, Jason, you and I know a thing or two about Australia. Australian jungle, specifically for me, Dad. Don't know if you know. I was
the
in...
jungle one more time, Ro. I'm going to get the klaxon out on you.
It was a big show. A lot of people watched it. Now, if you're a Marvel fan, you may have seen her already in Iron Man 2, The Avengers, and all the Captain Americas. But now, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow is joined by Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, and Ray Winston in our own movie about the life before the Avengers. Let's take a look.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks. You're welcome.
Black Widow is in cinemas July 7th or available via Disney Plus Premier Access. Jason, be your pick.
Listen, I love a bit of sport, you know. I love the Euros and I've a bit of tennis at the moment. I find it, you know, I'm a big sort of, not reality television, but I like, sounds terrible, I like a bit of news, I like a bit of sport,
You like Wimbledon?
Yeah, I love Wimbledon, I love tennis, Yeah. Anyone for tennis?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So you're going to be watching Wimbledon, and that does actually lead us very nicely into our VIP, isn't that right, Dave?
That's right, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And you should say that.
With Wimbledon in full swing, we thought it would be good to meet some of the true stars of the tournament. So please welcome Donna and the Wimbledon Birds of Prey, everyone! There you go.
How you doing, Donna?
Donna, hello. Now, I mean...
hello, Martin. Hello, Roman.
Now, nice
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My first question, I mean, what exactly do the Wimbledon Birds of Prey do? Because your pass says official bird scarer.
Yes, that's correct. We provide sustainable bird control at Wimbledon, have done for over 22 years. And this here, who we have today, is Castor, a 6-year-old househawk.
Castor, a 6-year-old househawk. And so what exactly is that they do?
So we are mainly there to deter the pigeons from roosting in the roof, in the wonderful Wimbledon roof, and from nibbling on the nectar of the grass seed. That's quite an easy pickings if you're in the roof there. So it's really I don't know if you watched the Sampras match in '99, which I was watching on the edge of my seat, and pigeons came down and they were just munching away while Sampras was at a critical kind of point, and again they were kind of bashing them off the baseline and they were still coming down, so interrupted play quite a few times. And so I was thinking, oh, okay, you know, maybe I could give them a call, and the rest is history.
How do people react when they see the hawks?
Well, you know, it's not something that you usually see or expect at a tennis tournament. Mostly people are in amazement, and equally, you know, there's some people that are sometimes scared of birds, and they probably react more like a pigeon does to the birds.
Yeah, they've met a few famous faces as well over the years, haven't they?
Oh, they have indeed, yes. They're very lucky to be well acquainted with some of the tennis players, Andy Murray, Nadal. His response was, "Mamma mia!"
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Hawks in action, just really quick, because, I mean, it is pretty impressive. I mean, it must just be the most fun ever for them. Noel, I've got to ask you, have you ever operated on a hawk before?
I have actually operated on a hawk before, yes, for a broken wing, and fixed them with a really, really tiny pin.
It must be. Yes. It must be. Is it such an incredible bird? Do the birds need to do a test before they take to the skies of Wimbledon?
Well, you know, the training begins when they're 16 weeks old, and that is also the first stage is the manning. We man our birds so that they become well acquainted with different noises, different people, you know, dogs, other animals, and then we start the flying process. And the flying process, we want them to kind of look to us for food, because they solely will come back to us because it's food motivation. Without that, you know, they are quite happy to go and hunt themselves. But if we have them at the optimum weight, they are always kind of looking to us. You know, they'll fly, say, for instance, around Wimbledon, and then I'll give a gesture, a signal, put up my hand, and they'll come down for some food. They know they're going to get a tidbit of food. It's so much easier for them. But, you know, if push came to shove and I wasn't around, they would quite happily go off hunting.
What's that on his head? Or what's the...
Yeah, so he has his hood. I'll just remove. So in the manning process...
Wow.
That's a reveal.
Now we can see.
This is why the hood is used.
How proud do they look now? Beautiful.
No, absolutely beautiful. Well, listen, Donna, thank you so much for coming onto the show today, and massive thank you also to Caster as well, and of course Pollux for his hard work, and we wish you the best of luck for the tournament.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's hear it for Donna and Caster, everyone.
Oh, amazing. That's your lot for today, but if you fancy watching us all over again or you missed any of the show, you can catch up now on the ITV Hub.
So much to our guests. Let's hear it for Jason Donovan.
Noel Fitzpatrick.
And of course, Shivi.
We're back tomorrow with James Arthur, Laura Mavula and Julian Cleary.
See you tomorrow.
See you then.